Hello, and welcome to today's webinar on BIM for Building, a 360 collaboration for Revit, FormIt 360 Pro, and Dynamo Studio. This webinar is brought to you by Live Lab Learning, which is a subsidiary of Academic Corp, a wholly owned applied software company created to provide world-class training. This webinar is being recorded and will be available to you online on our YouTube channel. This is Bridget Piasecki, and I'm delighted to be your moderator today. Just to take a note, you have a chance to win a $25 gift card, and this drawing will take place at the end of the webinar, but you must be present to win. Throughout our presentation, we encourage you to interact with us by typing in questions and comments using the question team, and we will be answering questions at the end of the presentation. Also, I just wanted to point out that we will be at Autodesk University December 1st through the 3rd. Our booth is 311 at the Venetian, Las Vegas, Nevada. If you have the opportunity, please stop by and see us. All right, A360 Collaboration for Revit. Cloud Service connects project teams with centralized access to BIM project data in the cloud with no need for costly IT setup. Participants stay better connected in real time using the Communicator chat tool within the models. With Revit, Autodesk A360 integration, the entire project team is also able to view, search, and socially interact on models. FormIt 360 adds solar and energy analysis, cloud service functionality to FormIt 360. Dynamo Studio is a design scripting tool that works with Revit and other third-party applications. All right. So now it's time for me to introduce our presenter today. Ravi Sadali has been in AEC industry for over 25 years with experience in architectural design, project management, consulting, and an adjunct professor. During his 10 years of applied software as a consultant and educator, he has received the highest ratings from students, earning him the Authorized Training Center Instructor of the Year in the United States. He is an active participant in Revit user groups and has presented at Autodesk University as well as various AIA BIM conferences. Sustainable design, technology, and integrated project delivery are his passion, and he is an expert in Autodesk building products. Please join me in welcoming today's speaker, Ravi Sadali.
Hey, thank you, Bridget. So today is going to be a high-level overview of three major products by Autodesk. They are little known to the design industry, and we wanted to make sure that everybody have a good overview of what these products and services will do for you. So we're going to start talking about A360 Drive, A360 Team, and also A360 Collaboration for Revit, and what are the differences between them. We'll also be talking about what is Autodesk been up to in terms of developing conceptual design technologies, and what is Autodesk doing as far as conceptual design solutions, and how is BIM changing the design industry, and what are the challenges being seen, what are the solutions, and when it comes to computational design, how did Autodesk address those issues and challenges related to computational design, and what are the benefits to you as a user, and how are these tools being used in the industry. Let's start off with A360. So A360 is basically a portfolio of many services that are cloud-based. Some of you may be familiar with A360 Drive. That's pretty much like the Dropbox of A360. It's a free subscription using your Autodesk account. You'll be able to log in, upload files, download files, share with your friends and colleagues, and track versioning of your files. When it comes to A360 Team, this is a subscription-based service, also on the cloud, that allows multiple people from different stakeholders, companies, share the same files on the cloud, but also with different formats. but also be able to collaborate and view the models and drawings online and be able to mark them up and spin them around and other things as well. So the great thing about A360 Team is that it will opens up the platform for any file format from any Autodesk product or even competitive products such as SketchUp or CATIA. Plus, the whole suite of solutions from Autodesk like Revit, AutoCAD, 3ds Max, and Inventor. Last but not least is A360 Collaboration for Revit. That's a cloud subscription service that works with Revit software and is specifically tailored for Revit users. That's an add-on to A360 Team, so A360 Team would be a prerequisite subscription service for A360 Collaboration for Revit. And you also be able to collaborate not just on any file format, but specifically speaking on Revit files. So in this case, the Revit files would reside in the cloud. So I guess the background of this is that Autodesk has always been providing products and services for the design industry. It starts off with pre-design all the way through documentation and detailing and then construction. But Autodesk has been adding more products and services that addresses the big circle, the 360-degree circle, and this is where the naming comes from, A360. So in addition to design, now Autodesk is involved in the delivery process of the project and then the facility management, operation and maintenance. So all the way from quantification to coordination, scheduling, estimating, project management, and through commissioning, facility management, even analysis and then energy monitoring of the building. There's a product or a service that addresses these issues. So we all know that designers and engineers have always been the main target customers for Autodesk. Added to that, of course, are the construction team, the owner team, the vendor team, and then last but not least are the occupants of the facility and the maintenance team. So with all of these stakeholders and players working together on the same database, the same building information modeling environment, it takes a lot more effort to coordinate and collaborate on these different aspects of the project. All these different users use CAD tools, videos, drawings, designs, models, and management tools. And they also need to be doing that with markups. They meet in person or they meet online. They send emails back and forth. They use mobile devices and they create issues back and forth. When you're trying to coordinate all of these together, it becomes very challenging. So what Autodesk A360 does, it connects the entire team, all the way from products, services, the team itself, the people, and the data. All gets connected into one central place on the cloud. And that makes it easy to manage all this data. So yesterday and tomorrow, when it comes to building information modeling, we are used to an application that's sitting on our desktop. We're used to working collaboratively with our consultants and working with local drawings and details. But tomorrow is going to be a little bit different. The cloud services brings another dimension to this. It's a cloud platform that sits somewhere on the cloud that uses supercomputers to manage the central file for Revit specifically, and it is socially shared by multiple design consultants and as well as other stakeholders. So not just the architects and engineers are involved, but also the owners and the construction managers and vendors have the ability to log in with different security settings and access the data from anywhere in the world using a mobile device. So it's about sharing, it's about viewing data, and it's about searching for specific things in that data. So buildings nowadays are more assembled than they are built. So it's about assemblies and parts. It's about working on multiple file formats. You mentioned earlier the ability to work with not only with Autodesk products, but also with competitive products such as SolidWorks, CATIA, and other third-party applications. They all can be viewed online. So what does it look like when you open your dashboard for the first time? You got your activities, and this is where you see what's happening on the project, very much like what you see on Facebook. It's very interactive, it's very user-friendly. Number 2 on the screen is where you search for anything that is in the project. And then you can also, with a just click of the mouse, you can upload or create content. When it comes to navigation, navigation is very simple. You can use your data to navigate 2D or 3D models. Look up people on the project, know your team who's working on the project. It gives you a status of who's on it, who's not on it, and also being able to search the project and upload or create and look at recent data and track project activity. All this is part of A360 team. A360 team also contains folders and project files that allows you to look at just like a Windows Explorer. You can just navigate your files and look at the files and move them around and organize them any way you want. The controls are very familiar. You can look at it as a list or as icons. And right-clicking on something will give you options to either copy, download, move, or open certain items. This is a good example, the Medical Center, RVT. This is a Revit file, and that allows you to, someone who doesn't have the Revit software, such as an owner, for example, wanted to check the latest status on the project, is able to log in there, look at the model, spin it around, and then, of course, mark it up and send feedback to the design team. So what about what are some of the key values in this process? Of course, multi-firm concurrent authoring. So got not just one firm is designing, but also multiple firms are designing at the same time, and they are using this latest data available on the cloud. So you don't have to wait to get an update a week later and then find out that you are a week behind, and then you have to go back and change things. So it's real time, it's helpful, it's user friendly. Having the central file of Revit on the cloud means that there is no IT setup. That reduces the initial cost of starting the project and allows for a quick project kickoff. And of course, it's more economical this way. All right, so how does it work? Basically, it works by caching the central file of Revit from the cloud to your local machine. So with the local cache, you have everything you need to work on the project locally, very much like the local file, central file in Revit. However, you have a in-between engine that allows for delta transfers between the central file and the local file. So only the changes that are made on the project are prefetched and they are synced with the central file, which means that the delay factor between the cloud and your local machine is very minimal. That makes it very doable for you to be able to work locally and sync with central file, even if it's on the cloud. So let's say we have a firm A, B, C, and D located in different parts of the country or even different parts of the world. Here we have you get also on top of that a Communicator chat box that allows you to allow different team members to chat directly with each other, share screenshots and screen captures, and then even have multi-person chatting. So the ability to get a quick update or quick feedback on a specific part of the design is inherent in the collaboration for Revit. So again, the color coding for the people. You can tell that Emily on this screen has a green button, which means that she is active on the project right now. She is also syncing now because that's what the status is. While Jack, the person below that, has logged in. Last time he accessed the model was 2 hours ago. So it gives you a very good way to manage the project and be able to have a little bit of accountability in the process. And you have that log, which is the active feed of the project. So this is not much different than what you have been using in the past, such as Microsoft Link, Skype, Facebook Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, and Google Talk. So it's all the same stuff. Where we're going with this is that we're taking the central file from your local server and making it accessible to multiple stakeholders, consultants, owners, contractors on the cloud, and you can access it from any mobile device. So that's a big deal because now people are mobile, we travel a lot, we spend a lot of time going to the airports, going to meetings. It would be a good idea to be able to access that data from any device. And that just makes it a central location for all of the team members to collaborate together and coordinate their work and get the latest updates at any time from any device. So how does this team is set up in the A360 team? Basically what you have is a team owner that assigns an admin person, and that person will select the team members, and they can access different projects, project A, project B, project C, and they can give access rights to different project stakeholders. You could be a contributor, you could be just an author. The project can be open, can be closed, can be secret. There's different ways you can slice and dice this project and control what you want out of it. So let's take a look at this video here that talks about A360 Collaboration for Revit.
You know the reality. A building project is never simple. There are numerous stakeholders across numerous time zones, different teams delivering on different schedules, disconnected communication silos like email and PDF happening in places where designers aren't, and multiple teams working on multiple models, with each model progressing independently of the others within each firm's network, and using a different method of exchanging files for nearly every project. How many times have you thought, there's got to be a better way, a faster way, a way to unify the people and the data? Well, there is. Welcome to your team's new way to work. Welcome to Autodesk A360 Collaboration for Revit. Built on Autodesk's powerful cloud collaboration workspace, A360, Collaboration for Revit offers a unified design and communication service accessible by team members and stakeholders. Now, team members from multiple locations or firms can access a common set of building information models to design, solve problems, provide feedback, communicate, and to deliver the project on time and on budget. This happens in real time across multiple networks and without complex and expensive IT build-outs, meaning you can easily collaborate even if one team is in Boston and the other 3 time zones away. Simply start a project in A360. Add your models, invite your team members, and begin working together. Even non-designers can use a web browser or mobile device to track what's happening in the activity stream. Can search for any component or view the model. And all this is available from your desktop, tablet, or smartphone. The future of BIM is here, connecting your project data, your communication, and your entire team. It's A360 Collaboration for Revit. Try it out now and let the teamwork begin.
Okay, so that was a good overview of Collaboration for Revit. Let's move to our next main topic, and that is FormIt 360 and FormIt 360 Pro. So this is all about inspiration and documenting change as it happens. So as we know, the world has changed and people are mobile. Not everyone is sitting at their desk anymore, but they carry iPads, Android tablets, and laptops to the job site, and they also use them while waiting at the airports. The designers are, at the moment, use dated methods for conceptual design, or hand drawings, or even digital sketching, but then they are disconnected from the BIM process. So Revit users also have the tendency to over-detail conceptual design. I'm sure you can relate to that if you're a Revit user. Instead, the focus should be on capturing design intent and concepts and constraints through an iterative, creative process with visual fidelity and analysis. That's the intent of building information modeling. So FormIt 360 is a cloud-based solution that captures ideas when they strike and allows the designers the freedom they need to document their designs. But then, of course, it promotes creativity but also reduces rework, because instead of you have to sketch something and give it to another person in line to start documenting those changes on those designs. Things may just fall through the cracks and you may lose the design intent on the way. Instead, the file format or the drawings or the models that are created inside of FormIt 360 are 100% Revit compatible, and they are bidirectionally file shared with Revit, and that makes it a very good case for time savings and for better quality design. Let's take a look at this quick video that we've done several years ago in a design competition. So here we have, we're accessing Google Earth, we're zooming in on that site which happens to be on a beach in Hawaii, and then we are basically sketching some masses in FormIt 360 on the iPad, and using these push and pull tools in FormIt, we were able to very quickly capture the intent based on in this case, on a floor plan. So again, very user-friendly, very intuitive, and you can just do that all with your finger on the iPad. So who is this FormIt 360 for? You pretty much know yourself. People who like to sketch and doodle on paper and textbooks and copybooks and sketch pads will find it very easy for them to be able to sketch on a tablet, an iPad, or any other mobile device. So it gives design freedom for those designers that like the hand touch. So what people are using with FormIt 360 these days is they're using it to track design changes throughout the design process. So start with the FormIt with a very high-level conceptual massing, get client approval with intuitive tools, and then move it on to Revit and make the design more robust, and then moving on to the actual construction site, and then go ahead and build it, and then the design obviously is matching the design intent as it started in FormIt. That's huge, because that's typically what happens on the way, is that you lose the design intent. So this iterative process lends itself to this ability to carry the design intent from product to product without losing the intent itself. So users are using it to create complex geometry very quickly with using a stylus or even their finger, and design anywhere and at any time. So let's take a look at how would this look like in the real world. So here we have a person trying to use their finger on the iPad and trying to collaborate even using Revit content. So we can bring in Revit content such as furniture, casework, and populate the building model with this content, and then save it back into Revit, and then go back and do some more changes. So this bidirectional collaboration with the Revit model is huge. Here you have a laptop, a tablet, an iPad, and even a Mac computer all happening at the same time. You can have 4 people here using different devices and collaborating at the same time and watching what is happening. you're looking here at a solar study using FormIt, and with that is a new addition to FormIt 360, and that's what makes FormIt 360 a powerful tool, what gives it the name FormIt 360 Pro. We're looking at lighting analysis, we're looking at solar analysis, we're looking at energy analysis, all within that platform. So this is a truly collaborative process, as we said, and allows two or more people to collaborate together at the same time. One person working on the laptop, one person working on an iPad. They can see each other's screens and in real time and be able to contribute to that design process. When it comes to, we talked about solar and energy analysis. Let's take a quick closer look of what this thing look like in
New FormIt 360 Pro offers integrated energy and solar analysis to allow you to analyze your building's performance early in the design process. FormIt 360 Pro Energy Analysis applies the energy cost range to your FormIt conceptual mass to provide high-level targeting and feasibility of energy performance from the earliest stages of the design process. An energy analytical model is automatically created from your conceptual mass forms. A key part of this process unique to FormIt 360 Pro is the creation of thermal zones based on ASHRAE 90.1 guidelines. The energy cost range compares and is driven by individual factors, each of which relate to different aspects of building design and operation that influence overall building energy use. The range of factors and values simulated, in addition to how they are combined and represented in the energy cost range, provides immediate cause and effect feedback so that you can quickly appreciate opportunities for higher performance. Navigate through the factor widgets by clicking on them, then moving the sliders to choose an option or a range of options. The energy cost range will update based upon your selection as an indicator of how sensitive the project is to each of these factors. The ECR also includes the Architecture 2030 benchmark for your project. This benchmark provides a way to understand the relative performance of your project by comparing it to this popular target. A history widget also tracks your energy cost range as you update. In addition to energy analysis, FormIt 360 Pro also includes solar analysis. You can iterate through different times of year to understand the distribution and intensity of solar radiation on various areas of your conceptual mass. With FormIt 360 Pro, you can make informed design decisions early in the design process that will help you achieve high-performance goals. Check it out now, let us know your thoughts, and help us continue to shape the future of making higher-performing and more sustainable buildings.
So let's talk about how BIM is changing the building design industry. There is 5 main areas for that. Conceptual design is more complex. Connected design, which allows designers to use embed intelligence into the design process and use visual scripting or visual programming. Ubiquitous simulation, which means simulation of the building at in any place, anytime, for different reasons. You get the structural simulation, structural analysis simulation, different loading conditions, even for MEP as well. Project teams are becoming more spread out, different cities, different parts of the country, even different parts of the world. And they need a way to collaborate together. And of course, prefabrication. So BIM is driving the ability to manufacture certain parts of the building that are a little bit more complex back in the shop, and then of course ship them to the site and assemble them together. So we're moving away from building the building to assemble the building process, and all that coming together is going to require a little bit more robust design process. So most of you probably heard of Dynamo for Revit, and that comes with Revit 2016. Right now I'm going to show you Dynamo Studio. Dynamo Studio is a product that basically is independent of Revit and can work with any third-party application. So what are users doing with Dynamo? First, in the construction field, when it comes to shipping prefabricated materials to the job site, it would be a good idea to make sure that the crane is able to spin around and give you the lift range and the capacity that you're looking for in the construction field. So even construction managers can use that for their purposes as well. In the design field and prefabrication field, people are using Dynamo for studying the slight differences between different curtain panels. When you're dealing with complex shape, panels can be slightly different in size than the one next to it. So with that subtle differences between the panels, using a intelligence can drive the geometry very easily instead of doing it manually. So what are some of the challenges that come out of these BIM changes to the design process? Of course, increasing the need to maintain design knowledge, increasing the need to improve the transition from concept to design, and the need for more automation and reduce rework. We've talked about that earlier with FormIt as well. Also increasing the need for easier modeling, visualization, and analysis tools. All that together brings the issue of computational design to the top of the list. So what can you do with computational design or Dynamo specifically? Basically, in a nutshell, what you're doing is a rule-based parametric design that, by applying parametric behavior and logic to the model, you are raising the intelligence of the model to the next level without actually having to do it manually. And that just allows, using visual scripting, you're building a system, and you're not just building a model, you're building a system of components that work together harmoniously, and you can extend to other applications such as Rhino or other third-party applications. So we're seeing the benefit mostly in designers' capabilities are enhanced tremendously. Just automates the process of fine-tuning the design and making it just aesthetically pleasing and also functional at the same time. It reduces the struggle in early design phase. It also eases the ability of the design complex geometry to make it a little bit more manageable, and improves the overall capabilities of the designer. So when it comes to complex form and complex processes in design, Dynamo is a must. So again, Dynamo is the app that comes with Revit 2016. You see it on your add-in tab in the menu, and it allows for a quick exploration of the parametric design concepts, easily analyzing and visualizing geometry, and effectively working with project teams using other tools. We talked about rapid testing, iteration, and studying multiple design options in less time. When it comes to complex geometry, it's solving the complex geometry problems and without programming experience, and that is huge, because most of us are not computer programmers and will need a more simplified tool to access the Revit API. That's exactly what Dynamo does. It accesses the Revit API or the programming language of Revit without the need of programming experience. So Dynamo automates the repetitive tasks and manages the risks by exposing trade-offs and understanding systems and connections at the conceptual phase. And as a result, you generate sophisticated designs from simple data, logic, and analysis. Let's take a look at how Dynamo puts together this design. So we looked at the train station case study earlier, and this could start with a little bit more hands-on with a simple sketch on paper, and that could go to Dynamo in the form of creating planes and levels for the primary structure, level 1, level 2, and the roof secondary structure. And then using the Dynamo engine for Revit, in this case, you can just create planes, rectangles, and then use the slider for integers to control the width and length and the height of these planes. It is, again, very intuitive and very user-friendly, allows for creating parametric connections between these different parameters in Revit, and helps in fine-tuning the design to the next level. As you're building those relationships between the different planes, between different levels, between the different geometric shapes such as floors, panels, structure, the roof pitch, even the openings, are all controlled using these slide rules. So you don't end up with one solution, you end up with almost infinite solutions that you can fine-tune and adjust to come up with the optimal solution that would be functional and aesthetic at the same time. So in a nutshell, Dynamo is a parametric tool that uses visual programming to analyze and collaborate with other designers. It allows you to access the Revit API and create solids and surfaces, and works in a shared environment. Also works with third-party applications such as Revit, Robot, Rhinoceros, Navisworks, FormIt, and SAP 2000, Excel, and Google. So if you chart the Dynamo use over the building lifecycle, all the way from the left in conceptual design to the right in facility management, operation, and maintenance, we go through different milestones. The first milestone is on the concept level. Architects, engineers are able to use it for like large projects such as stadium bowls, delighting analysis, and programming analysis. That's architectural programming, not computer programming. In the design itself, Dynamo can control your sheet management for large projects and also the content management as well. When it comes to detailing and fabrication, curtain walls takes the lion's share of that and allows engineers to deliver detailed drawings to the fabricators. Fabricators are in turn able to fabricate and control the slight variations of different components in the curtain wall. In the construction phase of the project, you got your VDC managers, schedulers, estimators, superintendents, even the safety professionals and survey professionals are all able to use these prefab components and control the design, quality, QA/QC, delivery, and installation of these components. Even concrete pours can be managed using Dynamo. In facility management on the far right, FM professionals use it for space studies, retail layout, and drive-through simulation. So as an architect, it provides you with the benefit of better design for the buildings. You can study more design options, communicate better with clients, understand energy design based rules, and design more freely and extend the power of Revit to other uses, BIM uses. As an engineer, you become a better problem solver, study more design options, rationalize the system, access to the API, and create visual spreadsheet design that is intuitive to the engineers, and also manage risk and creativity of the clients by exposing trade-offs. For construction professionals, it just means better buildings, understanding systems and connections, and the delivery process, understanding the time frame for construction, and look at the variables and alternate means of methods of construction and system rationalization. So as a conclusion, for all of these three Autodesk products and services, namely A360 Collaboration for Revit, FormIt 360 Pro, and Dynamo Studio and Dynamo for Revit. Basically, we're looking at the main benefits for the AEC team is more freedom, creativity, collaboration, precision during the conceptual design, and reducing rework, adding intelligence to the parametric conceptual design, better real-time collaboration, and performance-based design for earlier impact. Now I'm like to turn it over to Bridget for any questions.
Hi there, Robbie. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. For everyone's benefit, can you clarify on a few of the following differences? What's the difference between A360 Drive, A360 Team, and Collaboration for Revit?
Yes, absolutely. So A360 Drive is the free subscription-based I'm sorry, it's a free module of A360 that allows people with the Autodesk account to access the cloud storage and file sharing. A360 Team is a subscription-based service, paid service that allows multiple stakeholders to access the files, but also share content and view the models online with any file format, collaborate with third-party applications, and work as a team. With Collaboration for Revit, it's the ultimate module in A360 and allows the central file of Revit to reside in the cloud and sync with the local file.
All right. And what is the difference between FormIt 360 and FormIt 360 Pro?
Okay, that's a good question. FormIt 360 is the free application of FormIt that anyone can just download and use on their iPad or laptop or a tablet. But FormIt 360 Pro adds more functionality such as solar analysis and energy analysis.
All right. And what is the difference between Dynamo and Dynamo Studio?
Okay, all these good questions. Dynamo is the application that comes again with Revit as part of the download. It shows up on your add-in menu and allows you to work with Revit only. Dynamo Studio is a subscription-based application that can be purchased from Autodesk and allows for collaboration between different applications such as Rhino, Robot, SAP 2000, and Navisworks.
Okay, we have a few more questions rolling in. For an owner to view Revit, to view the Revit model on their iPad, do they need to have a 360 Team subscription?
Yes.
Okay, and then is A360 Collaboration available in all countries?
I believe so, but you know, you can never tell when it comes to international. There may be some restrictions in some countries, but you have to check with Autodesk on that. But if you send us an email with a specific request on a specific country, we'll be able to forward that to Autodesk for you.
Do you need FormIt Pro in order to communicate with the Revit model, or can it be a free version to do this?
Yes, it can be the free version. You can download that, but you'll have limited functionality, but you can still communicate back and forth between FormIt and Revit.
All right. And then Steve will follow up with you on your question. Another question rolling in, does Dynamo Studio work with Navisworks?
Yes, we mentioned that in the presentation. Absolutely.
All right. And that looks like all the questions we have for now. So at this time, let's see, we will be doing our gift card giveaway. The winner's name is David Wallace. David Wallace, if you are on the webinar, please type into the chat. Let's see, he's here. All right. Awesome.
Congrats.
All right. Congratulations, David. All right. And if you haven't already, search Live Lab Learning on Facebook and like our page to receive the latest information and special offers. Thank you for joining us today. We hope that you found this webinar informative and helpful to your business.
Thank you.